What's up guys, it is Wyatt, and tonight we're back out in the garage working on the C10 race truck. Today we're making freaking huge progress. As you can see, the cab is permanently mounted to the chassis. We've even got some fenders thrown on there and the grill up front, so we can start figuring out what kind of room we're gonna have to work with once this thing starts coming together. This morning I rolled the truck outside just so I could take a step back and look over the entire truck, make sure everything looked square and level. I didn't take any video of it, but here are some pictures from that. I don't know about you guys, but I think the truck looks freaking sexy with the front clip on it, the grill on there. It looks really unique, and to be honest, it almost makes me want to paint the truck primer gray or Nardo gray because it contrasts that satin black really well. But besides that, I did want to just verify that everything kind of lined up. There was no real reference points on this cab to the chassis of where it needed to be mounted. Obviously, when I built the cage, I did have the cab over it to get a pretty close idea of where the cage needed to be, but other than that, there was no real measurement of where it needed to be mounted so that it would line up, especially with how much we've cut out of the cab. Everything kind of moves, and then doing the rocker panels and all that body work, everything moves a little bit more. So yeah, it was kind of up to just positioning the front fenders over the tires where I liked them, and then that's pretty much where I decided to make the cab live. Obviously, I tried to get it as level and square as I could, but you can only get it so close before you're just nitpicking, and then you're just chasing yourself in circles trying to get it perfect. So that's where we're at with the truck right now. The next thing to do is pull the front clip back off of this thing, and I'm gonna hang the doors on the cab. Hopefully they still line up. Like I said, with everything being as cut as it was and just trying to get it all lined back up, there's no real guarantee. So hopefully they do fit. Hopefully they still line up good with the front fenders. And then if they do, I can go ahead and fully weld out all the mounts and start adding little additional mounts all over the cab just to keep it really sturdy. Since there's not much support left in it, you can go ahead and you can actually move the cab a little bit. So once I verify that all that fits, we'll be able to go in and make little tabs everywhere with some nice little beauty panels that will act as cab mounts to the chassis. So yeah, let's go ahead, get the fenders off this thing, get some doors put on it, and pray that everything lines up. Fast forward a couple of days and we got the doors on the cab, we got the front fender on there, and also a bedside mocked up on the C10 race truck. Right now I'm just kind of verifying that everything lines up. I got the right rake on the cab compared to the chassis so that I have enough fender gap, and just making sure all my measurements are somewhat in spec so that when we go together for the final time on this thing, everything is going to line up exactly how I want it to. You guys will see more of this thing put together later on, maybe not in this video, but probably the next one. The goal for today is to actually start on the firewall and floorboard inside of the cab. Now that I got this thing permanently mounted and set exactly where I want it, the next step is to start doing all of the sheet metal work that I've really been dreading doing up here on the cab. For right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get these fenders and the bedside doors, all that pulled back off so that none of that is interfering with us as we try to fabricate all of this sheet metal. So let's go ahead, get that knocked out real quick. You know what? Let's try this again. Let's do a little fancy transition. Just like this, we're gonna get all this stuff gone, just like that. Now that all that is cleared out of the way, we can go ahead and start working on our firewall and floor pans. I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time I've ever done big scale kind of sheet metal work, especially building completely new panels. Patch panels, been there, done that, but doing something like this, honestly, first time. So I don't really have a solid plan of attack on how I'm gonna accomplish this. I thought about doing it in a couple of pieces, doing like this side, then the across, and then the other side. But I think I'm actually gonna cut it out of one big piece, try and work the whole panel at once. Probably not the greatest idea, but we're gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. So yeah, what we're gonna be building is a cowl that actually goes up like this, comes over and then back down that side, and it's gonna come out about 5 inches. That should put us just right here behind the bell housing. And then obviously we're gonna have a big tunnel here so that it's easy to get the transmission in and out. But yeah, once that piece is built, then we'll build the front part of it, which will come down, and then down here in the floor, it'll probably come like this and then angle back somehow. Might have to build some little pieces to make more clearance for the tires. I'm not quite sure how we're gonna do that just yet, but we'll address that kind of when we get there. So off camera, I went ahead, got this piece made up real quick. Nothing super fancy. It should do the job though. So this is the cowling that I was talking about. Just kind of comes off the cab, gonna give us a little bit more space inside there. Went ahead and put a mark on here. I need to trim it up a little bit more. Made it longer just so I could trim it down, do whatever. It's looking pretty good. This side turned out great. I really like the angle and everything there. This side is pretty good, not as great as the other side, but I think I can make it work when I go to weld the firewall in here, kind of pull this sheet metal back into place where I need it. Got it mostly tack welded in. It's kind of a pain to really weld that super small metal, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna weld that all out or if I just do some seam sealer on it and call it a day. But yeah, that is kind of done, out of the way. Gonna trim up the inside, trim up the outside, and then we're gonna start working on the firewall. All right, so I just had a pretty big oof moment, kind of a novice to working the bead roller here, and that showed when I went to do the firewall. From afar away, it looks really good, and I'm actually really happy with how it turned out, but I did fuck it up, and it's no longer gonna be a usable piece. So the whole firewall that you guys just saw me rolling and cutting and all that stuff is scrap. We're gonna make another one. This thing was looking pretty good. I did get these beads in there, and I'm pretty happy with it. You know, this top line's not perfectly straight. And then I ran into a problem down on these squares where you actually can't get the bead roller over here to make that corner. So live and you learn. I'm gonna redo it. I'm actually gonna do it with these squared off edges because I can do this, but I can't do the roll. So on the inside edges, we're just gonna do this squared off look. Kind of like it anyways, kind of looks cool. And you're not really gonna see it down by the transmission on the truck anyways, or at least not unless you're really looking for it. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're also gonna open up the trans tunnel bigger on this piece. I actually made this with the intention of making it bigger, but now we'll just go ahead and do it. And yeah, got Ryan over here today. He gets to help knock this one out. Kyle was helping me last night.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, so now Ryan gets his turn at it and see if we can't get this thing knocked out. So I'm not gonna film any of it again. Hopefully we can just knock it out real quick, bring this new piece outside. hopefully don't mess it up. I've got 2 chances at it with this other piece, and then I gotta go buy some more material. So let's go ahead, get this thing knocked out real quick, and hopefully this one lines up as good as the first one did. All right, thanks for your help, Ryan.
Anytime.
What freaking time is it? It is
It's probably 10.
now 11 o'clock.
Oh, God.
Yeah, rip,
right.
late night.
All
But we finally got the firewall done on the C10. It turned out really great. I'm not a body guy or sheet metal guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm really freaking proud of this. It turned out awesome. Again, big thank you to Ryan and Kyle for helping knock this thing out. Long night trying to get this thing done. But yeah, there she is. Looks exactly like the other piece did, but this time it has squared off corners back here so that we could actually get the roller back into that area without having to cut the firewall in half. So yeah, that's kind of the only difference.
It looks good. It's gonna look good from the inside.
Yeah, and it looks really good from the inside too.
So where the panel and the floor pans are gonna meet up.
Yeah, so also we put this brake in there so that we can just lay our floor pan in here like this at an angle coming down. It'll match this contour right here on the outer edge of the cowling, and then it'll kind of build kind of the pedal box. We'll obviously have to add some more structure in there and whatnot, but it's gonna give us a nice landing place for whatever floor pans we decide to build for that. So looking really good. On the inside, it's probably dark in here because GoPro, but you can see our shapes there looking pretty damn good. And man, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I'm trying to ramble on to make something happen.
It's not bad for a couple of guys who had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, honestly, not bad. Funny side story is we did this out here, but we actually made the bead rolls in the living room here. Kind of moved all my other junk out of the way. Problems of a small garage, but we made it happen because it is dark outside with no added light. So you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, this thing looks freaking awesome, man. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Now we're just gonna have fun trying to attach it, probably just tack weld it in a bunch of spots and then come back and seam seal that later, or maybe make some angle iron and do pop rivet that all in. Not quite sure yet, but we'll figure something out. But yeah, freaking turned out awesome, dude. Freaking really happy with that. Nice.
Yep.
All these expensive tools just to make one piece, and then we're good. I literally.
You can do floor pans with it. You do the trunk or the whole bed with it.
Yeah, yeah. I literally saw a meme about this today, or a video or something. Oh, it was in a video from, oh, I forget the dude's name, but he's got like an old Buick and he's Tesla swapping it, and it's really cool. And he made a joke. He's all, why would I spend $500 when I can make it for $100 after buying $1,200 worth of tools? And that's exactly what we're doing. So
hold on, just pan around this garage.
yeah, literally,
exactly
literally all the tools in here just to could have paid somebody or bought it for cheaper, but you know,
experience.
Yeah, that, and you take pride in doing it yourself. You know, it's unique. Nobody else is gonna have the exact same piece, which is really cool. And that's kind of the whole thing with this truck, man. This thing is super unique. Nobody has anything that's close to this, at least not that I'm aware of. So it's kind of the goal here: make it unique, make it cool. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave off tonight, man. It's freaking late.
It's late.
Time for you to get to bed.
Get to the wife.
Yeah. Work on your car tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. It'll probably be like done, and the video series will be up by the time I upload this video. So, but yeah, just so you have a time frame of when we're working on this. Yeah. It's right after part 1 of his car build.
Yeah.
That's coming out pretty good. So.
A lot more on both things.
Yeah.
So.
A lot to do.
Pull the trans, get
the 480 in there.
Yeah.
And the transfer case, the NP 241 T cases.
And then mock all the rest of that up.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a pain.
That's gonna be fun. That after we do a 6-part series of building floor pans.
I'm busy that week.
Yeah, so yeah, actually, right. I remember that.
I don't know what it is yet, but
I'm busy.
I'm out of town.
I'm not around.
No.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, like I said again, I appreciate your help. I tried, if you guys saw the time lapse and were paying attention, I tried to mock this up by myself yesterday, and dude, it was a pain in the ass. So glad they were here to help me, and honestly, that's probably where I'm gonna leave off for tonight. I'm gonna go in and edit this video for you guys, give you guys an update on the C10 race truck. I know I didn't film a whole lot of getting the cab mounted or any of that stuff, or really show you it back together, but in my mind, I made a tremendous amount of progress in today's video. So that being said, we're gonna leave off there, and I will see you guys in the next video where hopefully we tackle the floor pans and maybe even get some body panels put back on this thing and get it looking like a complete truck yet again. So yeah, so we're gonna leave off. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. As always, I love hearing from you guys. and we will see you in the next video. Peace.
Bye.